Uh, nah, you good.
All right, maybe it's just on my end. I can hear it, but I'm not tripping.
All right. Oh, I definitely hear that.
That's my flight.
Oh, that's your flight?
That's my flight.
Okay, what time do you leave?
So,
2. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Well, then when you gotta leave, you just gotta leave.
What an interesting way to
we'll
start
leave at
this.
2:20. I was gonna be, head to the plane.
No, no, yeah, yeah, yeah. No.
This is hilarious. This is a hilarious way to start a show.
Hey.
I'm gonna mute it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, she's about to catch a flight. I guess me and Julian are gonna do a podcast, but I wanted to start this one off, in pop culture, Black America, I would say America in general, is talking about Love is Blind, you know. And our last episode was about fatherhood
Boy,
to some degree.
great episode by the way. If you haven't watched it, please go check it out.
Cool. Yeah. I thought it was good too. Shout out to
Yeah,
Demi.
it
We
was.
held it
Shout
down.
out to y'all.
Um, but boy, was this Love is Blind last episode about fatherhood.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? On both
Yeah.
ends.
Yeah.
I can't think of what's the white couple name? Amy.
Amy and something. They really weren't that important to
Yeah. Yeah, Amy
to
and
be
bro.
honest with you, me and Kelsey fast forwarded every scene they had. We fast forwarded.
I wanted
Not
to.
even gonna lie to you.
I wanted to. I felt bad. I watched it.
Not gonna lie to you.
I watched them.
They were good. They were cute. They were cute. I liked the scenes with their dad though.
Mhm.
Her dad, they had like a really strong relationship.
Yeah.
And you got to see that juxtaposed with Clay and his father, who had a really tumultuous relationship,
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't know, how did you view that as a woman, Demi?
Which part?
Just like Clay and his father. Before we get to Clay and his actions.
And I'll preface it with this: as a woman who's dealt with men who may potentially have some type of issues with their fathers, I feel like you could probably give a pretty general, but also very poignant perspective on dealing with men that have father issues. Because we always hear men talk about women who have daddy issues, but we don't hear women talk about it from the other side as much.
Yeah, no, that's true. I think they were a depiction of like truly what it's like dating men in society today. You know what I mean? Like his father didn't really take accountability. He's like, well, my daddy wasn't around. So it's always like they're coming from such a low point that even when they are doing like 100% better than their dad did, it still isn't enough because we're starting from so far behind. Does that make sense? Like, so the dad is like, well, my dad wasn't there at all. So he changed the cycle a little bit because he was there. He was there, but what did you show your son? And now your son is walking around with insecurities that has nothing to do with him, his relationship, or the woman that he's in a relationship with. But they couldn't get married because of that. You know what I mean? So I think a lot of times women are left to deal with the insecurities. Like we help men grow through some of their insecurities, but we're still left like.
Well, I agree with everything you said, but I would say that to me, Clay showed that he was not a man yet.
Yes, but even to that point, like it's so many people online talking about how they want a woman that's gonna be with them even when they're not ready and help them and speak life into them and all that. AD did that. And AD made it very clear, like, look, you may not be exactly where you want to be or where I may expect you to be, but I love you and I want to fight for you and we can get there together. You know what I mean? I think she made that clear before the wedding day.
Okay, well, in a real life scenario, did they need more time? Did he need more time than 2 weeks to be prepared to be married?
That's not what you signed up for.
No, I'm saying like
I don't care. You signed up for 2 weeks.
I'm saying he signed up. He said no. Like he still got that option to say no.
Okay, but I'm saying this doesn't.
Now, do
does,
I?
and he
He
did.
should not. Now, let me be very clear. He should not had her go to the altar.
No.
Okay, he should have did what everybody else did and got out of there
Got out of there.
pre-wedding. You did the
Mhm.
bachelor party. You up there cheesing and smiling. Well, you're crazy.
You're crazy. Y'all
You're
didn't
actually
said
crazy.
these
Like, what are you doing,
heartfelt reasons as to why.
Yeah.
And he thought, and then he was like, "I'm here to ace the test." Really? This is
Bruh.
ace the test? Come on now.
bruh?
See, and I felt it was interesting. Because from one perspective, as a man, I understood what he was saying. Through dealing with
100%.
her, there was a lot of introspection done in those 2 weeks or whatever. He realized, okay, this is a great woman. I don't want to mess this woman over, and I know that I'm not ready to be able to fulfill that role like I thought I was prior to. And I'm not gonna go into this being deceitful. So I'm gonna tell her, hey, I'm not ready to be a husband yet because I care about you and respect you that much. I don't want to go into this. I know I'm not 100% in it with you. I like to think that any woman will respect that if a man tells you, like, yeah, I can't give you what it is you're needing right now. He also sat there and said, once again, I know that this feels like I'm rejecting you, because that's the other side of the coin. Like, yes, and being honest and forthright with that information, you are going to also have to deal with the fact that, yeah, naturally anybody is going to feel rejected. Even in spite of knowing that, he still stood up there. To me, that was showing a lot of maturity and being a man to say, all right, look, I know I'm gonna have to still be faced with you feeling how you feeling, but I'm gonna be honest with you and tell you this, as opposed to getting married to you when I know I don't honestly, I'm not 100% invested like you are. We get into this, and then I'm not being the man I want to be to you, or vice versa. You're bringing up things that you have issues with, and all of that's really stemming from the fact that I wasn't ready and I didn't share that with you. So it's like, yeah, you may not like it, but as a woman, I would hope that you would respect. Ultimately, at the end of the day, he also didn't waste my time and have me jumping into something when he wasn't ready for it. And as a woman, I would like to think if he proposed to her, but this also probably ain't gonna happen, because I don't know a lot of stories of a man proposing to a woman and saying, hey, I want to be married, and she's saying, I can't do that right now because I'm not ready to be a wife. That shit don't happen. Women say yes. If
Man,
they
that
like
shit
you, want
happen.
to be
Niggas
with
just
you,
don't talk about it. That shit
Exactly.
happens.
That shit happens.
That
okay.
shit
Women
happens.
say no.
Women
Well,
just
then
share those stories.
put
Niggas
that
don't
shit on
share
only-
those stories.
Put that shit on Netflix. Put that shit on Netflix and let's crucify Clay Iana for a week. But we ain't gonna sit up here and act like Clay wasn't being a good dude. Yeah, I mean, he liked her and he was honest with you. Well, honest with her. I am feeling you, and I want to keep building with you, but I'm just not ready yet. And we can't act like, y'all, yes, you signed up for this experiment, but I did the research and looked it up. They're in the pod for 10 days. When they get out of the pod, when they get out of the okay. You got out of the pods for 10 days. Yeah, I went on this vacation, honeymoon.
I mean, reality hit
for a week, and then you get back and they spend what, 20 days living together before they have to get married. So a month and a half roughly that y'all spend together. Nigga, I'm not ready to marry nobody in a month and a half. I don't care what I signed up for.
The experiment.
No, I signed up to come on here and say, hey, I want to find a wife, somebody to spend my life with. I didn't say I had to marry your ass on this date when they said we got to do it. Would you rather that, or would you rather your man really lock in with you, or would you rather this man lock in with you and say, you know what, I found my person. I'm not ready yet for you, but I can see the qualities in you that I want in my wife. I'm not ready to be your husband right now. And if you would like to continue dating me beyond this experiment, that's what I'm here for. I'm not here for the TV shit.
But he should have did that not at the altar.
He could have
did that.
You should not have waited.
I agree with y'all 100%. He should have never took her to the altar. You should have had that conversation without cameras around. We could have had that conversation a week ago. Like, look, this is how I'm feeling, bro. I love you, but I'm not ready to get married. And I don't want to have you get ready to get dressed, put all this stuff on, and break your heart like that and embarrass you. Because ultimately, that's how she's feeling, is embarrassed. But we have also seen since that release clips that have come out online, and they're still together.
No, but that's why he didn't marry her. Because if you pay attention, his energy was different when he found her.
Well, so what? Why didn't he marry her? Because of what? Because he didn't know she was going to stick around. He just said, "No, I'm not afraid to be honest."
He knew she was going to stick around. That's why he didn't do it. If you pay attention, listen, his energy from the beginning when he first chose not to do it was he was like, "I'm confident in my decision. This is what I'm choosing to do." No. Then when she was like, "I'm not going to date him anymore," he was like, "I didn't know the magnitude of my decision."
You're confusing that confidence that she was going to stay around with the confidence that he knew he could have another woman there if she decided not to.
Okay.
Let's not pretend like they both attractive people. he get bitches clearly, and she could get niggas. So he knew yes. If you say no, I
Especially
don't want to
after being on
continue.
the show.
Especially after being on the show. If you don't want to be with me, that's cool. I still respect you. He wasn't disrespectful to her. You know what I'm saying? He just was honest.
I think he was able to do that because he knew even with him not committing at the altar, she wasn't going to go anywhere because she didn't. And I think he knew that.
But
And I think that's why
how does anybody know that?
Even in that moment, he was like, I just don't understand why the timeline matters.
Because he was trying to tell her.
I'm saying no, but I think the timeline matters because that's what I'm saying. Like reality hit. Like a big part of the show is reality.
Yes.
Like some people can't face the reality, like Jimmy and what she calls herself, Megan Fox. She couldn't face the reality of oh man, he lives this kind of lifestyle. Like this is his friend. He's 27. He still being outside a little bit. The people he hang around, like he's not 30 yet. He's not
popping up to somewhere for an hour and a half is not outside.
But I'm saying, like the girls that he was hanging out with, that she didn't like that he had sex with one of his old friends. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a reality thing.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm saying. Like the reality, I feel like of the time hit Clay and AD because obviously that's what I'm saying. At his age, he hasn't done that work yet. Right. And that's what I was saying. Like, I feel like that makes like men from boys different. Like when you a boy, you still live in your daddy's shadow versus when you a man, it's like, well, I mean, I respect my father if you're on that level with them, but it don't matter what they say. I'm doing what I'm doing.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like Clay seems like his mom said, he wanted a long-term relationship. Like that's what he wants.
Yeah.
But he's still living in the shadow of his father. It don't matter what your daddy was doing. What are you going to do? Right? But you got to get to that point. And to me, that's the difference between a boy and a man. So that's what I'm saying. Like everybody was saying, AD was looking at him physically, thinking that he was a man. Where mentally, clearly, the way he was talking about his mom and daddy and shit, clearly that shit, he is struggling with that shit.
Yeah.
That's not somebody that you need to get married to.
Admittedly, he said, I'm struggling. I've learned I'm struggling with that.
I think there were red flags from the beginning to the point where if I was her, I probably would have had tried to have a real conversation with him. Like, do you really think you could say yes at the altar? I just feel like,
I mean, he has said
no way they should have went up there and like the way they was up there, like just it's no way he should have stood up there playing like that. That's where it crossed the line for me. Like,
I agree.
Yeah.
He was playing that was a little bit with that. But aside from just allowing it to get to the altar, nothing he said was wrong.
Yeah.
People shouldn't have an issue with that at all. And once we got a glimpse into that, when we saw the exchange between his mom and his actual father, which was extremely important, and I'm happy that they showed that because we got to see just how deep that really goes. You know what I'm saying? Like that clearly, obviously, still affects them. Even though clearly his mom has set healthy boundaries with their communication and stuff to where, yeah, I have forgiven you and I have moved past it. But I've also learned some things too through this process going through with our son, things I didn't know he knew about that situation. They have also resurfaced some feelings for me. And more than anything, like she said, told him, like, you really need to apologize to him. Just take accountability and apologize. Don't try to explain no shit away. You just need to apologize because it's fucking our son up. And I know you don't see how it is, but I see how it's fucking him up and keeping him from being able to move forward. That was an important conversation to have. It really was. Because you could even see in their conversation beforehand when his dad went in there to talk to him, that wasn't the closest. You can just tell that relationship is a little strained.
It's odd.
You know what I'm saying? Like you could tell. Like, but that also gave us a glimpse into it. And it's like, yeah, knowing and just seeing it now firsthand, I'm like, okay, he did the right thing because he knew I'm not trying to take this baggage into this. I'm not. So
yeah. I think having that generation of men that weren't as open to therapy and healing and getting that information, like as millennials, we're those last group of men that they raised. And so like when we were growing up, like when Jameson's in the first grade, he could very well understand like patriarchy, right? Like in the way that we understood like chivalry and equality and like diversity and all this other stuff. Like we did not know that shit. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like those actions are still bleeding over into this time when like healing and getting over shit is very much so the norm.
Yeah. You
know what I mean? And I think that it's like very interesting. Like the last conversation me and Demi had, we talked about like the AI and like, I don't know how to, if my daughter came to me and was like, yeah, dad, this is what my boyfriend doing. Like, I don't have that kind of frame of reference.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's not how I don't view the world that way.
Yeah.
And I very much so see that like tug within Clay, because I feel like I had that with myself at a younger age, and it was something that I had to, like I said, do the work and get over and separate myself from other people's actions, even though I'm like a result of those actions.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but that separation is very important. And it's like he had not done that. So yeah, the way that he did it was fucked up, but that also just shows like how fucked up he really is.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, why, like nobody thinks that that's acceptable.
Yeah. Yeah. And like you said, the fact that he even mentioned
with a lot of grace. I will
man, absolutely. She
handled
handled it
it
with a ton of
amazingly.
grace.
She definitely
Because you could clearly she
Before
cares
Demi
about him.
goes up, hold on, I gotta ask
Yeah,
you
go
a
ahead.
question. Before you go, Demi, like, okay, you were watching it and all the girls were like, oh my God, Clay, he's a terrible nigga, right? Episode 1. Terrible nigga. Like, what was it exactly that gives it away? What was he doing exactly?
I mean, he said it. He was in the experiment, like, yeah, I mean, I don't know if I could propose to you without seeing you. It's called Love is Blind. You know what I mean? It's just like he kind of gave clues. I mean, she got him through that. I do think she's like a typical Black girl who like feel like, oh, I could fix him, or if I show him a certain way how to like, if I show him the right way how to love, he'll be able to love me, or if I show him the right way to communicate, he'll be able to communicate better. You know what I mean? Not understanding that also means that the man has to do a certain amount of work as well. It's not just on whatever we show them that they're just going to reciprocate that. And I think that she's kind of caught up in that loop. But he said it. Even when they were at the table, she told him, I'm not
It's like the
going
loudest shit happening when you're talking.
And I keep it like, do you hear that beeping?
Yeah, I don't know what that. I mean,
it's okay.
Yeah.
But she told him like, if you can't say yes, like we signed up for a timeline, I think we should be committed to that. If you can't say yes, I don't know if I can date you. And even in the show, he was like, I'm watching the show that I'm currently on, and I'm seeing that I'm not ready for marriage like the other men on the show. They had that exact conversation.
So quick question before you gotta go.
Yeah.
Would you prefer he jumped into the marriage with you and never said anything? Or that he came to you before the wedding day and said, look, I don't feel like I'm ready to be a husband right now, but I do want to continue to pursue a relationship with you.
I would have rather
okay,
come
would
to
you,
me, because if
would
we're
you
already
have entertained it though? Would you say, okay, cool, let's keep dating? Because you know what? Beyond this experience, I do feel like you're my person. I feel like I can marry you. And ultimately, that's what I signed up for, is to find my husband or wife through this experience.
Yeah, no, I would have, if he would have been able to come to me before we did all of that and been like, look, this is how I'm feeling, this is what I want to do. That's something that me personally, I could have accepted that. And we could have been like, you know, we maybe could have even started a new trend where it's like, we're not at the altar, but we want our families to meet each other. This is my fiance. You know what I mean? We're not married. We're not ready to get married today, but we want you guys to meet each other. We want to bring our families together, and let's like, here, this is my fiance. Meet my fiance. You know what I mean? Like they could have asked them to, instead of this being our wedding, let this allow us to, this would be a cookout. Like let this be something where our families can meet each other, and
we're still
like,
gonna come together type shit.
We're gonna come
still
together,
signify something.
Yeah, we're just not ready for that. I think that would have shown way more than like you getting me up here, me and my sisters having this emotional ass moment because this is my day, and you get up here and you say it wouldn't be responsible for me. She handled it with so much grace. I don't know. Found that strong.
But I mean, she handled it with that kind of grace because she knew that she wanted to still be with him.
Yeah.
Even when she was sitting there talking afterwards with her sisters, and she was like, I'm not going to speak ill on him because I love this man. I'm like, she's going to stay with him. She's going to do something. She's going to pursue a relationship beyond this.
Even when he came at her and like she embracing him still, and what am I going to do? I love you, kissing.
Because
I feel like they had talked about it.
Like Ryan said, the reality kicked in where it's like, you know what? It's been a month and a half.
It's been a month, bro.
Yes.
Stop playing with me.
Yes, we said we wanted to, we were going to get married. Yeah, but come on.
Because men have this thing of we have to be ready to ask. right?
Absolutely.
And that's a whole process that women will never understand in the same way that men can never understand like the desire for marriage. You know what I mean? Like women's look at it and it's like that moment I've been waiting. Like I've heard hearing women say, because of the old girl, Risa Tisa, that did the thing,
Mhm.
like, I thought it was my turn. I keep hearing
Yeah.
that. It's my turn, right? But niggas don't look at it like that. Well, now it's my turn. Like they don't look
Right.
at it like that. They look at it more like I have to be ready to ask. I
Mhm.
want to be ready to ask the woman that I really want.
Right.
But that's the thing that women can never, because they don't ask.
Yeah.
So however they get the proposal, it's just whether whether they want to say yes or no at that time. It's not really based off. I mean, it is based off of certain stuff, but like the women being more willing to like thug it out after a month and a half. I feel like it's based off of because they just get asked. Where the dude is like, no, I would actually want to be in a position.
Yeah.
So love is blind, but marriage is not. That's probably the takeaway. Marriage is not blind.
No, it's
I
not.
can agree with that. They're talking.
And love ain't blind either. I don't care how much I like talking to you. I need to see you. I need to touch you. I need to feel you.
I think love can be more blurry.
Nah.
Love can be blurry.
If you
Yeah,
talk to
it
somebody
can.
behind a partition for 10 days and you be like, oh man, I like her voice. We had great conversation. That's cool. I'm not falling in love with you.
I'm saying this. If it's a pool of women, 10 women right now that you don't think is cute, and then you got to go move off to another place randomly, and these are the
Mhm.
only 10 women, oh, you're getting with one of those girls.
Oh, absolutely.
So that's what I'm saying. It's blurry. You go love her because she cool. But with other options, you wouldn't have got with
If
her.
she's one of the 10 left in the whole world, yes. But if I'm also not losing sight of reality, this is just
No.
the pool that's here. I don't mean I gotta fall in love with these girls. It's
No,
just the
this is
girls
it.
that's here.
Last 10. No,
All
last
right.
10.
Well, yeah, if these are the last 10, logically, I'm gonna fall in love with one of y'all because I have to.
That's what I'm saying. It's a little blurry. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Circumstance.
That's fair.
Circumstance, you know?
I do agree with like the whole love may be blind, but marriage in that situation is not. My lighting is completely changed. Love may be blind, but actually getting married may not. It's not blind. I can
Families.
Yeah.
Families have to get more involved, like you said. If they have children, if you want children, when you want, like all those things, like actually, you have to practice them
Yeah.
to like get them right. Now, what I will say is, Clay was a wild boy, but that nigga who got on the jet skis with the other
Bro.
bitch,
And rode
hey,
off. And rode off.
Hey,
While everybody was sitting there watching from the beach house. It's like, fam.
hey, he wild.
hey, they better be dating.
We knew that
On the-
though. When he stayed out till 5, we knew he was a wild boy then and tried to lie about
Yeah.
it.
He lied about it. He came home and was like, I don't know what to talk about.
I don't
Like,
want to
your
talk about
location
this right
on.
now. Sir. She
Your location is on. What? Why would you say that to her?
left the phone and
Why
took
would you
the
say
watch.
that?
His mama
Yeah,
even was like, huh? You did what?
I'm not gonna his mama didn't say nothing because she knew that Netflix cameras on her face, but she was like, nigga.
She's better than me. She said, his
Exactly. That's
mama
why she said she's better than me because I would have killed
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, no, what?
I would have killed you.
I'm on my way. What are we doing?
I don't know how she
Yeah,
let
what are we
him roll
doing?
back up in the house at 5 o'clock in the morning after going out looking for him, seeing he wasn't where he was supposed to be, pulling up on him at Shorty crib, seeing that he was there. She went back to the apartment, waited for him to come back there,
Come on, man.
and didn't kill him when he walked in. Listen.
It's no way. She has to.
Restraint.
These women display so much self control in this season, and that's just I love that for them.
And they should have, because at the end of the day, it's been a month. If you let a nigga make you out crazy off a month, come on.
Yeah, you don't really know them. Like,
Let's
You don't even know him.
we watch this show and everybody loses sight of like, y'all, how long has it really been? It's been a month.
Yeah. But I'm thinking about the fact that like we're supposed to be in love. Like these people be talking like they in love.
that's what I'm saying.
They're
Dating. Like, think about it.
I'm
You could
going
be
about my feelings.
you could be in a long distance relationship with somebody.
Absolutely. You could.
Not talk to them.
I've been in long distance relationships.
And that's what I'm saying. But you ain't been in a long distance marriage. Like, that's different. That's what I'm saying. Because then you have to live together if you're gonna live it's just certain stuff you just have to do now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like, being long distance in love is doable. Like, we know that for sure. People be in prison getting married and have pen pals. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't be with them.
we also have to take into account all of these people are crazy. You're
That
crazy,
too.
bro.
They're trying to be on TV.
If you sign
What?
up and say, "Hey, I want to get married," after talking to somebody for 10 days in the pod, going on a honeymoon, dating them, and
Yes.
cohabitating with them for a couple weeks, and then deciding whether or not we're going to get married at the altar, you're crazy already for even signing up for that. So the logic behind all this, we have to just keep it in a scope of like, come on, y'all. These fuckers was already crazy. That's why they put them in this
They already
experiment. To the
wow.
logical people, one, we're not signing up for this, and two, we're not going to handle this in a way to where it's going to make good TV. You're not going to influence me or have me feeling no type of way after a month if you say I don't want to be with you. All right, bro, I don't know you. AD, he don't want to marry you after a month. Cool, you don't know this nigga.
No,
You
really.
know he makes good money. You've met his mom. That's all you know about this dude.
That's
You
it.
boo-hooing because you know I don't even know him for real. I
Oh, she
can't be.
crying
I
because she
can
didn't
only
have
be
sex with
that.
him,
She
man. Stop
crying.
playing.
She's crying because she's embarrassed. She ain't crying because she had sex with him.
No, she crying because she didn't have sex with him. She know, like, damn, I actually don't want to go find
She
another nigga
crying
now.
because we know she had sex with him. She's crying because we know that he decided to say no that day up on the altar. If none of that was videotaped, it's a lot easier to swallow that pill when it's like, okay, don't nobody know.
That's true.
Let's keep it funky. Like that's why it was really a thing because she knew, damn, everybody gonna see this shit on TV. I can't let him play me out, but I know I love him. I know it's only been a month for real. He is telling me, yo, baby, I acknowledge how you feel. That is valid. I don't want you to feel like I'm rejecting you because I'm not. I'm just not ready for you. So it's like, come
Bro,
on,
he
man.
would have been like, oh my
Come
God.
on. That's a stand-up guy. I'm Team Clay. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm Team Clay.
Team Clay?
I'm Team Clay. He a good dude, and somebody got to stand on the cliff for him. And I'm gonna stand on the cliff for that young brother because he didn't stand up there. He wasn't a liar. He wasn't trying to be manipulative. He's trying to do everything opposite of what we know his daddy did to his mama. And he just executed it poorly. But at the end of the day, like, where does the credence come from that? Nobody's saying, you know what, damn, his daddy fucked him up. He didn't want to repeat that cycle, and he's trying to end it right here by not jumping to something haphazardly. Nah, everybody worried about the damn TV and you should never let me get up here and do that. Yes, that is true. But more than one thing can be true. He also was just trying to be a good dude.
I agree. I don't take away from him not being ready. It's all of just how he did it. Like that was just you didn't have to do
now,
me like
now
that.
he can learn from that experience. Me personally, I say Demetria slide in his DMs.
You said Demetria what?
Slide in his DMs. See what's up. See what's up. He got money. He's young.
No.
Now he's had this life experience, so he can learn from it.
Clay
You're
cannot,
right, but no, thank you.
Clay cannot be the stepdad, man.
All right.
No. Clay cannot be the stepdad.
I think he's gonna be a great stepdad because he knows what it looks like when a daddy fucks it up. He's not gonna do that. He's not gonna allow it to happen.
Demi got to
He
hold
gonna
out
let it
for
happen.
Russell Wilson.
You said
Russell
he would?
Wilson. You got to hold out for your Russell Wilson.
I'm holding out. I ain't got no choice.
He is out there.
He out there.
He's out there somewhere.
Right.
No, we just don't know what he looked like. Now that's the part that you got to get over.
We do know what he looks like.
Yeah, that's the,
No, we don't know.
we don't know.
We don't know.
All right.
Sierra thought she had what she wanted you to look like. It didn't look like how she thought
Yeah,
it was.
it didn't look like what she. Yeah, no, that's actually.
Are you gonna catch your flight?
I am gonna catch my. I'm like right here by the thing. So.
Oh, I mean, okay, all right, whatever. I want them to be petty with you. Don't blame us. Or tell Julian make some calls. I don't know.
No, I'm literally. I've already checked in everything.
Okay.
But yeah,
man, that was.
Yeah, I mean, I don't follow him. No, I would, like you said, I wouldn't be on the show. Like I can't. I know I can't. I'm not. That's not a type of show. That's not a type of experiment for me. But
I mean, you know what's crazy to me? Even reality shows overall, because I just was watching Love and Hip Hop, right?
I gotta
catch up, man. Look. They be like Young Jock, mom died, and he had like funeral footage. You know what I'm saying, on the show, and that is just crazy to me.
What?
Like anytime I see funeral footage on reality TV, that's the wildest thing to me in the world. Because I'm like,
that's too much.
How do we have this conversation? Y'all got to pay for something at least. That's why I be thinking, like, do they pay for something? Like, y'all just want them in here for the extra? I can give y'all maybe even the outside across the street. If y'all post up across the street outside.
Yeah. They got to be paying for the whole funeral.
But to be inside? Oh,
to be inside.
Yeah.
Gotta be.
That's crazy. And so to fake pick your wife, you know, and now you got to live in the same town with these people too. That's the other part.
Yeah, that's true
That's the
too.
part I
Yeah.
didn't trip off. I forgot, didn't trip off of. Like when Jimmy was like, dang, yeah, I'm outside. See them. I don't even know what they
Yeah.
look like. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
Yeah.
shit. Y'all
Yeah.
just bumping into each other. This is freaky, man.
Just randomly, yeah.
This is
Yeah.
I didn't think
freaky.
about that either. But okay, guys, I'm gonna get out of here.
All right, Demi. Have a
All
I
right,
good
will
Demisha.
flight.
actually see you tomorrow, Ryan.
Yeah. Get
Yeah.
ready.
Yes.
Get those hands ready.
Demisha, we will actually be in we'll be down there this weekend
Okay.
too. So we'll talk about this later.
Yeah. Just let me know.
All right, peace.
All right.
But yeah, Julie, man, I'm with you. I'm you know, what Clay did to me was mature
Mm-hmm.
because it is hard to, make that kind of decision. But I think that it goes to show how much work he still has to do
Yeah.
with the way that you handle things. And I think that is
Mhm.
something that you learn like with maturity is like how to handle things,
Absolutely.
how to come to somebody with information that's hard to deal with.
Yeah.
Now, me personally, I think that they just wanted to be on every episode.
Yeah.
So that's why he, you know what I'm saying? But I thought that the magnitude that he was talking about was like everybody else's like reaction to it.
That's how I felt too. I felt like after he saw how emotional everybody else was, he was like, all right, this is the magnitude is really setting in on what it means that I just said no to this.
Mm-hmm.
And it made sense because once again, he had a very skewed view of what marriage is because of what he witnessed from his dad. Literally, like it's different being a child and like, okay, you just know that your dad cheated on your mom. But when you have your dad taking you while he's cheating on your mother, which is what he said, that's totally different.
That's
Where it's like,
wow. You're involved.
I'm a part of this. And it's like, who knows how that disturbed his relationship with his mom in terms of like feeling like he had to hide a secret from his mom, you know what I'm saying? Because my dad said don't say nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like you put your son in a real fucked up position. Man.
And I feel like the mom really when the mom walked up and she was like, whatever you decide, I love you. I was like, oh, hold on. He gonna say no.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's like he seemed really close with his mom.
Yeah,
He
absolutely.
seemed like really genuinely invested in what she thought of him, what she thought of AD, what she thought of the whole situation. You know what I'm saying? And so when the mom is like already coaching him into whatever you feel, that's what we'll go with. I'm like, that sounds like he then said like he might say no.
And maybe that was the case, or maybe, like any mother who's in tune with her son, maybe she just truly knew.
She felt the vibe.
I know what you're battling with. You know what I'm saying? I know
Okay.
the trauma that you're really battling with right now. So maybe she just said that as regardless of which way you go, baby, know that I'm gonna love you and I'm gonna still be here to support you. You know what I'm saying? Stand behind you. And she did.
No, she did.
I also love the fact that she still gave AD a hug too and told her like, you look beautiful. And you know what I'm saying? She still was empathetic towards her, even in that moment as she was leaving the altar. She's like, I know how painful that is as a woman.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She understood that and still, no, I'm still gonna comfort you because once again, the delivery may have been wrong, but you will respect this man one day for how he handled you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Tough pill to swallow for sure.
At the end of the day, like that's what it is. I just wish that happened a lot more. Even for me, like I struggle with that too sometimes still, where it's like I know the right thing to do, and sometimes it don't always occur. I don't always handle the situation exactly how I want to handle it. You know what I'm saying? So my hat's off to him because the execution, as far as still delivering the message in spite of knowing that this is not what anybody wants to receive right now, he still did it.
Yeah, he still did it. It was never what Chris Brown say, it's never the right time to say goodbye,
Yeah.
So whether he did it early or late, like I could imagine the excitement. You know what I'm saying? But like you said, like at some point you do have to deal with reality. And so if he's finally at that point,
and not so hot take, we can't act like AD wasn't head over heels for this white boy in the pods.
Come on, man.
Where the sisters gonna start talking about that? Talk about this black woman being head over heels for this white man. I ain't seen none of them tweets. Let's talk about it. If we're gonna talk about it, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Nobody's saying nothing about that. during Black History Month.
During Black History
Because
Month.
that came out in February. She praising her white king in the pod, but now, come on, man. Come on, but y'all want to sweep that under the rug. All right. Let's carry on. Let's carry on.
What? Hey, man. You're not
got
lying.
real quiet on that one.
You're not lying. You're not lying at all. AD was an interesting character for sure.
She was.
For sure. She was a lot of things. I will say, like I said, old boy who got on the jet ski, that was a wild boy. That's a wild move.
Yeah.
I don't condone that at all.
Nah, he really was just like, and like Shorty said, like your engagement just ended and you're sitting there worried about this. And I get it, but once again, it's only been a month, baby. Yes, I don't care about you that much.
I don't know him and Jimmy. I don't know why they didn't pick the girls that they seemed like they were hotter for in the pod.
And that was a mistake they made.
That was the mistake they made.
Both of them went against that for whatever reason.
I don't know. Like,
but it turns out you was right. You knew what you wanted. You should have just followed it, and you should have did that. But that's not what they did.
You know what? And based off of the Love Is Blind, which you loved, you actually loved this shit.
Yeah, you did.
But then it's like, oh well, marriage, like you said, marriage is not blind. So I don't know what about them made you feel like, oh, well, I don't know if I could wife her. You know what I'm saying? But for both of y'all, well, not for dude, he didn't really try to hit on Jessica again. Well, we don't know what he did since.
Yeah.
Hopefully he didn't grab that. If he was smart, he need to run that back, grab that. You know what I'm saying? You from a small town, like you hit the jackpot. You know what I'm saying? But you know, she seemed a little street too. I'm not gonna lie.
You know? She did. She had a little edge, a little spice to her.
Little edge. I think that kind of threw him off a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
She's definitely dated a black man at some point. For sure.
That's hella funny, bro. Man. But let's talk about music for a second. You know.
Sure. Yeah, for sure.
You're a hip hop listener. Lover.
Absolutely.
Well, I haven't talked to you about him ever, like in a super long time. But like, what's your take on Kanye?
Kanye has grown into a just an entity, right? Like Kanye has surpassed artists for me, where it's just like you are a brand. You know what I'm saying? So I interpret Kanye as a brand at this point, and I don't get too invested in anything that he does, honestly, because it's like Kanye's music is it's okay now. The music he makes now it still has glimpses of those things that we revered about him. But
do you love any new songs?
No, not really.
You don't love any new songs?
I like some of them. Yeah, no, I don't really love anything, to be honest with you at this point. But I'm also not looking to his music to further develop my love for Kanye. Nothing.
Your love is already cemented. The legacy is there.
He's not gonna put out anything else musically that's gonna make me love him any more than I do right now. Late Registration took care of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna forever be a Kanye fan.
Hold on real quick. You're telling you don't think that it's another level?
I'm not saying there's not another level. I'm saying there's nothing more that he could do that's gonna cement it anymore for me.
You're saying his stature is as big as you could make it.
Yeah. Anything else is just you just fortifying the foundation at this point. Like, but you are who you are in my eyes, right? You're a visionary. Okay. You know what I'm saying? The things that you've done, you've pushed the culture you've stretched us in different ways that we just didn't know was even capable. Inspired and just influenced other albums and art that have followed. We know that because we know the artists that have come after him and the inspiration he's been to them. So for me, I just look at Kanye as a brand, and he's a business. And as things grow, you're gonna lose. They're gonna lose touch with certain grassroots things about them. You know what I'm saying? That's what happens as you expand and you hand over that control and you take in input from outside sources and things like that. That picture is gonna change a little bit.
Yeah. Because
I understand that. I just take Kanye for what it is. Like at this point, I just hope he's healthy, mentally is healthy, is able to be a great father, and enjoy the work he didn't put in. Because at the end of the day, we can't pretend like Kanye West still isn't one of the best artists ever to come out. right?
Yeah. No, that's
Even with
real.
all of his shenanigans, I mean, Kanye West is still the best. We don't look at his white
That's
counterparts that have had career long, you know, just events that are crazy and look at them the same way. We just put them where they are. We look Marilyn Manson. This nigga been crazy as long as we know who he is, right?
his name
Crazy.
is Marilyn
The
Manson.
the antics are ridiculous. Like visually, how he presents himself,
Right.
ridiculous, right? But that's him, and we allow him to be who he is, and we keep him there.
Yeah,
We can do the same thing with Kanye. It's just that
that's
he's
real.
black, and black people we care about our people, so we gonna speak up on it. We ain't gonna let him be out here looking crazy and not speak on it.
Yeah, we do care about his well
But
being
we
in that
exactly
kind of
we
separate kind of
care.
way. Yeah.
We don't care about Marilyn Manson if his mental health is good. Clearly, your mental health ain't good.
I asked because a lot of people feel like the industry is dead,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it does somewhat feel like an over saturation
Mm-hmm.
of music to some degree because you can get it anytime, anywhere. It's like more like a catalog. Like
Yeah.
you just can access all the catalog, right?
Okay.
When it's less personally curated. Because before you only listen to what you bought. And if you didn't buy music, then I guess you kind of didn't listen to music.
Or you just
Maybe just on
listen
the
to
radio.
whatever the radio fed you.
But you might not even listen to music on the radio. You just didn't really listen to music for real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you didn't buy music, if you didn't have nothing you want to listen to, you know what I'm saying? Like that's
Yeah.
very strange previously.
Right.
And so it's just kind of like now it doesn't feel like there's any artist that's injecting anything. I can't say new because you have to go out and discover new artists because there are
Mhm.
artists that are contributing and have new sounds, new flow, like new there is newness.
Absolutely.
But it feels like as a group, as a society almost,
Mhm.
we can't get penetrated with dollar for saying be it and penetrate. We can't like get, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
something real that's like more sticky. And like what Pharrell call it, like sticky music. It's not
Yeah.
really holding.
Yeah.
And that's really interesting.
Because it's just a lack of soul in the music.
Mm.
Honestly, I mean, that's what it is. People are not creating music for the majority. You know what? Let me not say that. The music that is making it to us is the music that wasn't made out of it's not coming from that genuine place. It's coming from a place of necessity. And now people could see that music is another vehicle that they can utilize because of technology where it's like, okay, I ain't got to sell drugs now. I can go rap. And if a
Yeah.
couple people like this song and it pop and it get hot in my city, all right, cool. That made it catch the right person. It hit on
Yeah.
TikTok or hit. All right, cool. Now I may be able to make a couple $1,000s going around doing some tours. I ain't got
And
to go
now
out
I'm
there
a
in the streets and do.
personality.
And now I'm something, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's a lot more viable now than it was back in the past. So yeah, you got a lot more people. Like to your point, yes, it is a higher saturation rate because it's just more accessible. It's easier to get your music out there in that sense. In doing so, it also for the consumers, the quality consumers, is made it harder because yes, there's a lot more we have to sift through this bullshit versus, oh, I found that one artist that, oh man, I really like their stuff. Oh, I just stumbled upon the Souls of Liberty. They got a catalog that goes back over a decade that I can listen to and enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
Never heard of them. Where they been? How is it that I haven't heard these people? You know what I'm saying? But like you said, the real music lovers, we're gonna find it because that's where our passion lies out of the discovery.
I
The blog era, the
wonder.
SoundCloud,
Yeah, it's like we're still like I listen to Questlove and he talks about like I hear a song and add it to my driving home playlist so I can play it later when I DJ and I'm like got thousands of songs. So like, yeah, the music lovers are still out there. You know what I mean? The diggers. But it's like if I wonder if somebody is gonna like explode again in that kind of way to where it's like, man, people just found this art act. You know what I'm saying? Like it feels like the younger generation is so they were fed music in a way that we can't really absorb. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, will they dive back into music in that way? Or like what you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, okay, like I'm a kid, I'm 15. I know what's hot now. I know who the big acts are now. I want to dive into something like it's so much to dive into that I can imagine that it could be hard to figure it out, which makes me feel like local music scenes will mean more.
I think
You know what
yes.
I'm saying?
I think local scene definitely is a very important thing
Because
now.
you're gonna be really good, but you can't go viral because you're not with the
Hmm.
machine or some shit. So the only way that we're just like really enjoying this, and then maybe depending on how strong that community is, then it could go up for something that's not salacious. Like
Right.
I think the salacious, I think Sexy Red ended the salacious shit
Mm.
because she took it to places where people didn't feel like it could go, and it
Yeah.
lets me know how like wild St. Louis is
Hmm.
because everybody from St. Louis is like, oh, well, she's just being herself,
Yeah.
and people are like, and that is like so interesting to me, and I'm like, dang, like you can't get more than that.
Yeah.
It's like almost hood. It's like you can't get more hood thugged out than this. And
Hmm.
she kind of did that in that lane of
Yeah.
hip hop. And it's like, wow. And it's authentic. And she's got like hit songs. So it's like, it ain't like she got like a one-off. Like she
Right.
got joints.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so
Yeah.
it don't look like it's slowing down either.
Yeah.
Which is, you
I don't
know,
think that there ever will be another big artist that breaks like that and has the longevity, because the music listeners now, that's not the type of listeners that they are.
that's not their appetite. Yeah.
You know, they don't have a longing for that classic that stays around and you keep replaying that forever. That's not, they don't care to do that.
But will like, and I use like y'all kids for instance, like in
Mhm.
15 years, because I feel like that's when you really know somebody. Like you got your own thoughts on music when you're 15. Like what do
Yeah.
you like? You know? So it's like people keep saying they feel like AI is gonna play a role, but I'm like, are we really gonna get to that point to where it's like, okay, AI play me a piano song, but then I know this dude Julian who can play piano.
Mhm.
I feel this AI more than this. Like, because music is so emotional. You know what I'm
That's what I was
saying?
about to
Like,
say.
I don't
I don't
know.
I don't know that I don't care how far or how much technology advances. I don't think that we'll ever be void of experiencing that with music
Mhm.
and understanding the difference between something that was AI versus something that actually a human played this.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I
For the
got
people
you.
who really love music, that'll never die out. You know, the
I
same
got
way
you.
there's people who, you know, who prefer the live versions of songs now versus the studio recorded versions because of just, you know, the little intricacies of the live performance versus, oh, I don't like how polished it is in the studio. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
I know what you're
Or even
saying.
just, you know,
Mhm.
hearing somebody, like you said, the
Auto
example you have
tune or
with
something, even
the,
like yeah,
yeah,
auto tune effect. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, a
yeah. That's a good
guitarist
way to
where
look
it's
at it.
like what that guitarist can play, that can't be duplicated with AI. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And even if it can, it doesn't have the same feeling. Nothing gives you that same feeling. Even if you heard somebody just singing, when you hear let me think, Marvin Gaye singing uh
He did the national anthem or something.
yeah, or you
Mhm.
hear him singing sexual healing or stuff like
Mhm.
acapellas of that stuff where it's like even the
Mhm.
music being cut out, it's just like no, hearing the voice, you know
That
what I'm saying? Hearing the
vibration.
vibrations is just like no, that does something to you that AI can never duplicate because it doesn't capture
Yeah,
that,
that's
you
real.
know?
Dang, I wonder like that. It's really interesting to me because I'm trying to like start to use AI for like creating short stories
Hmm.
and like animation. I really want to get into like animation. I think I can the stories that I want to tell, I think I could best tell them through animation
Yeah.
and through getting into really like traditional mangas and anime and stuff like that. I'm seeing the breadth of stories that you can tell. And
Hmm.
then like a good story, no matter who's acting, no matter who's holding the camera or what the camera is, always outlast. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And so now I'm really like trying to focus in on that or whatever. So it's just like I'm really curious to like, damn, is AI really gonna take all our jobs? Is it
Yeah.
like they fear monger so much with that? But I really do see the effects of oversaturation, I guess the word I would say, in the music space, you know, and it's like we're only getting older. There's not really in the last century,
Yeah.
every decade hit with like a new music genre that really was revving it up. Like by '03, '04, in March of '04, like rap was doing something that it hadn't done. Usher was dropped. Like we were doing something that wasn't being done in the '90s.
Yeah.
And like now it's just like since I don't know, we haven't really grown that much musically since 2016.
Yeah. No, we haven't. And
We've had highs, you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? It's been like, oh, this doom, so and so gets
Yeah.
discovered,
Yeah.
people, you know what I mean? But it's like it's been waves, different genres have been, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like I don't know. Cause the society will never go back to where like the as like, you know, the Dusties or the Lyrical Miracle or
Right.
like that won't be popular. And
No.
if it is, it'll be in such a different kind of way.
Yeah. It's gonna be different, even if younger people come back and rediscover some of that music,
Hmm.
it still is gonna be different. Just like it was for us when
Yeah.
we were in middle school and started discovering Souls of Mischief and stuff like
Hmm.
that, where it was just like, no, we were super excited, where we were literally coming back to school every day, like, hey, bro, this is some more music I downloaded last night. Have you heard this before? We
Hmm.
sharing music, that excitement of, oh yeah, this music is 20 plus years old at that point, but man, this is still some
It's a
fire music.
jam. Yeah.
Um, but I just don't, but we loved it because of the feeling, right?
Hmm.
We
Hmm.
loved it because of how it made us feel and being able to associate with the visual of, okay, this was the early 90s when we were just kids, or the late 80s, you know what I'm saying? Where we just
So
weren't around for that.
so what kind of music do you feel like, man, I gotta play this for Jameson? Like,
Oh, right now the music that I know for sure was like, oh, I have to play this music for him is like Dom Kennedy. I would say that's somebody who I
okay,
play. Currency.
okay,
Um some other personal favorites, like Primo Rice,
okay,
Larry June,
okay. So getting this
because
chill vibe.
because these are all yeah,
You're
these are
gonna be
things that
laid back.
yeah, that's how I am. You know what I'm saying? That's what our vibe is here around the house when we're in the car
Right.
rolling around. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the stuff that I'm gonna remember. The same way when I was a kid, I have very clear memories of just like how much Prince my parents played.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I didn't
Oh,
realize it until
interesting.
I got older and started actually downloading his music for myself and playing music. And I was like, I
How do
know
I know
every
this? Yeah, I
song.
know all this shit.
Yeah, every single song. I know this ingrained in me,
Hmm.
right? And so those are artists for me because and they're also lasting music to me. That's
Yeah.
something I would one. I like their messages in the music.
Prince is a big one. Like,
Yeah,
if you get Jameson into Prince,
that's yeah. You
for
know what I'm saying? That's
him, that opens him up to so much music.
he's gonna discover music beyond that for himself. If he hears Prince and he's listening to Prince and he likes it and actually enjoys it,
Oh my
I don't have
God.
to worry about him because he's
No,
gonna
no,
dive
no.
into.
He'll find you. It's kind of like a theory. It's like, what's your
Mhm.
theory? I'm in Aristotle. I'm in the soccer. Like, whatever your
Yeah,
theory is, okay. As long as you got one,
yeah,
okay, cool. You'll figure out what really
exactly.
serves you.
Yeah.
That is so interesting. Because like for me, my dad, when I was growing up, he played mostly like Southern rap and like
Mhm.
West Coast rap. Like he didn't play a lot of East Coast rap. I got into East Coast rap myself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like I can't imagine. And that was the thing too. My dad always played, he always played dirty ass music around me.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and he was one of those people like I'm buying CDs weekly. So I remember when he bought Trina CD, but we
Yep.
gonna listen to this random Michelle Indicello. Then we gonna listen to Biggie. Then we gonna listen to Creed. Then we
Yeah.
gonna like, and that really like made me like view how you should listen to music
Mhm.
differently and like accept songs and like stuff like that. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Even stuff that you may not necessarily always listen to, or people would just assume you listen to because oh you're black and you're a man, so why are you listening to this? And it's like
Bro,
nah, but I love listening to some alternative music too. I love listening to
I don't want
R&B.
them to have nigger ears.
Yeah, you need
Those
to
nigger ears is like they don't
yeah.
attune to nothing else.
Nah, I need you to be able to have the ears that you're selective with good music in general,
Yes.
regardless of the genre. I want you to be able to say, "Oh no, this is a bad song. I don't care if this is about my favorite artist.
Cause I'm
This is a
very
great song, and this is about somebody who I don't even know."
cause you know, like when like me and you can appreciate like John Legend first CD and Neo first CD, just
Hmm.
using them, right?
Hmm.
But then it's like if we let Jameson hear that, he could be like, it would be interesting to see like what he think is hot.
Hmm.
Like you gave him the dream, gave him this, be like, damn, no, I really fuck with, you know what I'm saying? Like that
Right.
is always interesting to me when you let young people like, cause they might go for the alternative, or like when you
Hmm.
really expose people to like, well, this is what was popular and what's remembered and label pushed the longest and all that sort
Right.
of stuff. But then this over here is the real rich, good shit that people was going back to all the time. I feel like you said, that music really resonates with people
Mm-hmm.
in a very unique way. And I feel like Michael Jackson is like that with people. Like
Yeah.
his music just keeps resonating, like the dancing, the look, like
Mm-hmm.
it lives. I seen a nigga walking down downtown St. Louis in a Thriller jacket.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's crazy. Like,
Yeah.
first of all, where'd you get that? And then second, it's just like he just was like walking around. I'm like, damn, why more niggas don't walk around in a Thriller jacket, bro?
Mm-hmm.
We need to bring that back. I feel like so. That's
Yeah.
interesting. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
it is interesting. I've definitely talked about it because, like, even when before Jameson was born, was still in the womb. Like Kelsey, we used to play music for him because once it got to a point where development wise, we knew okay, the baby can actually hear music, interpret it, things like that. She was like, we need to be playing music for him in the womb, and I'm just interested to see like how that manifests itself, along with just the stuff that we play on a
Like what
daily basis
happened?
with them.
Yeah.
Like how is that going to shape your musical taste as well.
I think it definitely shapes when you're a young person how you
Mm-hmm.
communicate. Because like when
Yeah,
you're a young person, you only listen to crazy shit. Like you're much more willing to just say some shit because you're
yeah.
really listening to that.
That's what I listen to. Yeah,
I feel like that was the case for me. It was like, well, I mean, I'm just listening to Ice Cube and Master P and all this shit all the time. I'm like, well, I know what can be said.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? It's one of those type of things, you know.
yeah.
So,
And shaping your personality,
mhm.
especially at that young of an age, it's like you just have very very limited life experiences and just exposure to things. So even something as far as just like the music that you listen to, we know
Mhm.
how heavily that plays an influence on
Sports,
how it
like
turns. Yeah.
how much can I get my kids into fucking Allen Iverson?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, am I gonna have to make them watch games? I feel like I am. Just
Yeah.
like you gotta watch game one. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Cause it's like it's just so much BS out there
Yeah.
that while you can control what they intaking, it feels like you really got to because it's like, yeah, like kids in high school really, I mean, you had to be going out your way to smoke some weed in
Mm-hmm.
'07.
Yeah. You did.
You know what I'm saying? Where like now it's like, yeah, my big bro go to the dispensary. Like weed is just around, like a
Yeah.
cigarette. That's just a different kind of way that you got to be conscious and aware. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? And it's just like that's what I really think about when I think about the young people that I'm around. Like
Yeah.
people felt that way about us, and I don't really feel that way. But now I
Yeah.
see what they mean. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
like we keep getting crazier and crazier and crazier, and it's just like
Yeah.
fuck, you know. So I don't know, man. But shout out to Jameson, already a blog era expert
Yeah.
before one,
Definitely. Definitely.
before one. So, but all right, y'all. You know this is a good episode for sure. We'll be
Definitely.
back next week, same back channel, same bad time. So
Yeah. And next week we're gonna have a very interesting show. We're gonna have a great topic
oh,
next week for
okay.
y'all.
I think I
I'm
know
gonna
what
go
that
ahead and
means.
give them a little insight. It's gonna be I think we're gonna gain a lot of listeners from the next one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll be ready. Y'all be
Yeah.
tuned in. But all right, y'all. Peace.
All right, peace.